Welcome all of you. We are going to have the initial session for foundation course in quantitative aptitude. Entire quantitative aptitude play around the numbers, and therefore let us try to understand basic concept in numbers, and also we'll see all variants and all functions related to number so that we can be acquainted with all properties and rules. While actually solving the numericals in quantitative aptitude, they are to be handled in two ways. One way is to mathematical formulation of real life problem or the situation in terms of the variables equations, and second phase is solution of that formulated problem. So we are going to have all the rules regarding the mathematical formulation, and when we'll see the application, we'll see the rules which can take care of handling the situation. Let us go to the entire journey and the tour of numbers, their classification, then what do you mean by prime numbers, and different divisibility rules with respect to the natural numbers. Now we'll see the classification of numbers. We'll begin with the natural numbers. Numbers which we use for counting entities existing naturally, such as number of animals, number of chairs, etc., are the natural numbers. The set of natural numbers can be denoted as n equal to, into the curly bracket, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to infinity. We'll see the second set, which is of whole numbers. Whole number set is consisting of all natural numbers and 0, while integer set is consisting of all positive natural numbers, 0, and all negative natural numbers. So integer I can be indicated as curly bracket, starting from minus infinity, coming down to -3, -2, -1, then 0, and moving to the plus side, +1, +2, +3, till infinity. The fourth set which we come across is a set of rational numbers. Rational numbers are basically set of numbers which can be defined as ratio of integers. So set of rational number R is equal to, in curly bracket, all such numbers P by Q such that P and Q are integers, while Q being the denominator, Q will not be 0. Examples are given like 1 by 3, 2 by 7, -7 by 11, etc. Then we go for irrational numbers. All physically measurable entities such as lengths, weights, etc., which cannot be expressed as rational number, are irrational numbers. It could be square root of 2, square root of 3, cube root of 5, and so on and so forth. After understanding the classification of number, we'll proceed ahead. We'll see the other types of natural number, such as even numbers. All natural numbers which are divisible by 2 are called as even numbers. Odd numbers, all natural numbers excluding even numbers will be odd numbers. Now, typical frequently used concept in quantitative aptitude is a concept of prime number. What we understand by prime number? All natural numbers other than 1 which do not have any factors other than 1 and the number themselves will be called as prime numbers. Actually, when we'll see the application, perhaps the concept will get more clear. Next comes composite numbers. All natural numbers bigger than 1 which are not prime numbers are all composite numbers. Co-prime numbers, any two natural numbers having no factor common except one will be the co-prime numbers, such as 4 and 7. 4 is non-prime number, 7 is a prime number. However, 4 and 7, they do not have any common factor. 9 and 25, they do not have any common factor. After going through the tour of odd, even, prime, co-prime, composite, we'll proceed further. This is a basic concept in an entire system, either it may be binary or decimal, a concept of place value and concept of face value. Face value of a digit in a number is actual value of that digit, while place value of a digit is the face value of the digit multiplied by appropriate multiple of 10 corresponding to the place. Let's take an example. 5, 2, 7, 9. In this number, the face values of digits 5, 2, 7, 9 are respective values of the digit, while the place value of 9 being at unit place, is 9 into 1, the value is 9. Place value of 7, the digit being at 10th place, it is 7 into 10, 70. Similarly, place value of 2 being at 100th place, it is 2 into 100, 200. And the place value of 5 being at 1000th place is 5 into 1000, that is 5000. Now we are going to use the concept of face value and the place value in different numericals. Now let's see the basic rules for checking the divisibility. Divisibility rule for 2. If a unit place digit of a natural number is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, then the number is divisible by 2 and is called as even number. Otherwise, it is odd number. Examples: 274, 678, 52, all are divisible by 2. Look at the last digit or unit place digit of all these numbers. They are 1 among 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. Hence they are divisible by 2. Let's see the rule for divisibility by 3. If the sum of the digits of the number is divisible by 3, then the entire number is divisible by 3. Let's take an example. 369. The digits are 3, 6 and 9. If we sum them, 3 plus 6 plus 9 is 18. 18 is divisible by 3 and hence the original number 369 is divisible by 3. Take another number, 7395. Sum of all digits will be 7 plus 3 plus 9 plus 5, that is 24, which is divisible by 3, and hence the number 7395 is divisible by 3. Now similarly, the rule for 9 goes, if the sum of the digits of all the digits of the number, if the sum is divisible by 9, the entire number is divisible by 9. We can take an example of number 198. If we sum all the digits, 1 plus 9 plus 8 is 18. 18 is divisible by 9 and hence the number 198 is divisible by 9. Then we go for the further rules for checking the divisibility by 4, 8, 16 and so on. Like you find the place value of different digits in the number. If the unit digit is divisible by 2, that is, it is having value 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, we say it is divisible by 2. Unit digit means 10 to the power 0. So that digit, if it is divisible by 2, entire number is divisible by 2. We go for 10th place, means second from the right digit. As it is second from the right, we try to divide it by 2 to the power 2, that is 4. If last two digits are divisible by 4, entire number is divisible by 4. If last three digits are divisible by 8, which is essentially 2 to the power 3, then the entire number is divisible by 8. Similarly, we say that last n digit of any number, if they are divisible by 2 to the power n, then entire number is divisible by 2 to the power n. This is very interesting. Like we found the rule of 3 is sum of the digits divisible by 3, entire number divisible by 3. Rule of 9, sum of the digits divisible by 9, entire number divisible by 9. And the rule for 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 are last digit divisible by 2, last two digits divisible by 4, last three digits divisible by 8, last four digits divisible by 16, last five digits divisible by 32, and so on. So there is a relationship which perhaps we can discuss in due course later on. We'll see the divisibility by 5. If you see the divisibility by 5, if the last digit of a number is either 0 or 5, then the number is divisible by 5. Example, say 475 or 1860, having respectively 5 or 0 as the last digit. So they are divisible by 5. Interestingly, we see the divisibility by 11. If the sum of the alternate digits is same or the difference in them is divisible by 11, that is the difference is multiple of 11, then the entire number is divisible by 11. I think perhaps this seems to be a bit tricky, but examples will illustrate the simplicity of the rule. Let's say whether 1518 is divisible by 11 or not. Check for the digit first, and then the alternate digit is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. The other alternate digits are 5 and 8. So 5 plus 8 is 13. So sum of one combination of alternate digit is 13 and sum of the other combination of alternate digit is 2. Difference in them, 13 minus 2 is 11, which is multiple of 11, and hence the entire number 1518 is divisible by 11. Let's illustrate by another example, 3245. The alternate digits are 3 and 4, so 3 plus 4 is 7. And the second sequence is 2 plus 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. So they are equal. And this 3245 is also divisible by 11. There could be rules for very many other numbers. Like there is a rule for divisibility by 7 also. But that rule requires so many procedure and calculation that if you practically try to divide a number by 7, you may go faster if the number doesn't exist 6-digit number. In most of the aptitude examination, the handling of the numbers up to 3, 4 or maximum 5-digit number is there. So if you try to calculate the divisibility by 7 up to 5-digit number, perhaps actual checking the divisibility is faster than trying to apply the rule. Hence we'll skip the rule for divisibility of 7. So we have gone through the initial rules, initial definitions, concept, and the rules for divisibility for various things so that things can become very handy for all of us. However, as we'll see the application part of it, you will reveal that mere understanding the rules is not sufficient. We should be able to apply these rules in a very twisted way, in a very tricky way. We have to get the real life problem converted into mathematical form, which is expressible in terms of the variable equations. And then we can apply the rules. Directly, we may apply the rules, but it may not be useful many times. There are very many shortcuts in quantitative aptitude. However, this being the foundation course in quantitative aptitude, we will see the simple and straightforward methods of handling the problem. Otherwise, when we go for the advanced techniques, out of the 4 choices given, we can eliminate 3 choices summarily on some shortcuts and converge on the correct answer without actually calculating or checking the correctness. We can say that other 3 answers are far away and therefore this answer may be the closest one, hence the correct answer. Now shortcuts we'll see after having enough practice for the quantitative aptitude. So to begin with, let us master the fundamental and simple rules in quantitative aptitude, and during the application illustrations, I think things will become clear. Thank you all of you. So we close the first session and then we'll move to the next session in due course.